Hi, and welcome to Ever Present God, where we explore the beauty of God's love and the power of His presence in all creation. You see, God is able to use what is seemingly ordinary to show us His extraordinary love, that He is ever present in our lives. And God showed this to me one day as I was traveling on the highway. And it was a good bit of traffic on that day, and in merges a tow truck. It merged right in front of me, and at the time I couldn't move to my left or to my right. I had to stay in my lane due to traffic. And so it forced me to just look straight ahead at the tow truck. And it was like any other tow truck I'd ever seen. But then God said to me, "Look closer. Do you see me?" And so I looked closer. And it was then in that moment that I saw the tow lift as a cross. And God revealed to me in that moment just how much He loved me and how much He cares for me and how He is there to help me in my time of need. And when I thought about a tow truck and all the characteristics and the purpose of a tow truck, I said, okay, well, a tow truck is intended to help a vehicle when it's in some way immobilized. So maybe it is due to an accident and it can't be moved, or maybe because of inclement weather and so it's in some way slid off into an embankment and has to be restored to a rightful place, or it is just broken down. It can't move any further because something has to be healed, something has to be fixed. And it is there in that moment that helped me to see that God was speaking to me. And He was reminding me that even in your darkest days, where you feel like you cannot see a way out, that God is right there with us. And even in the moments where we feel that our life has been wrecked by poor choices or circumstances that are outside of our control, God is there with us too. And when we've worn ourselves completely out, doing everything but properly taking care of ourselves and maintaining ourselves, and we are almost like we've run out of gas because we have said yes to everything but ourselves. We have given to everyone else but ourselves. We have not taken the time to care or to do the healing necessary so that we're able to go out and be who it is that God has called us to be. And in those moments, God is saying, I am here. Lean on me. Let me help you. Let me heal you. Let me do what it is that I do. Sometimes we feel as if life is just crashing in on us, crashing down on us, and we feel stuck. We don't know which way we are to go. And then there's just times when we are exhausted. We have spun out of control trying to solve situations that were never intended for us to solve. So we're tired, we're exhausted, our batteries are drained and depleted. We've tried to take on something that wasn't for us. And I know for me in a recent season, the exhaustion and the level of fatigue was so deep. But God is saying, give that to me. I can handle it all. But He's also there for us in those moments too. So when I thought about it and I said, well, what does the Word of God say about this? And it says in Matthew 11:28 and 30, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them, and He delivers them from all of their troubles. And that's Psalms 34:17. And so just hearing that is so reassuring because God is saying, give it to me. I can handle it all. And He's also saying that if you call on me, that if you call on the name of God, that I will be there and I will show up for you. And what we do know is that God is a way maker, that he will make a way out of what seems to not be a way. And because he is faithful, how do we know that he is faithful? He said, because his word does not return unto him void, and he is not a man that he would lie. So because we know that he is faithful and he will never leave us nor forsake us, then we can approach him with bold confidence. We can call on him, but then we can also expect that he's going to come. And we can do this because of the confidence that we have in him, that if we call him, that we can find grace and mercy for us in our time of need. And in that moment is where we have to fully surrender to him. So when I think about a tow truck, one of the things that really allows for all of these things to move is the fact that the car is usually placed in a neutral gear. That means it's like a release that has to happen in order for that vehicle to be helped. And we have to apply those same principles to our life. We have to fully surrender to God, fully surrender to his way, fully surrender to the things that he's asked us to even give up. So take the emergency brake off, which is almost in a sense like control, where you're trying to control situations. You're trying to control how and to what degree people show up for you in your life. That is not what God has called for us to do. He is asking us to fully surrender it all. And it makes me think about the song that I really love, which is I Surrender All. And some of the verses in that song says, all to Jesus I surrender. All to him I freely give. I will ever love and trust him. In his presence daily live. I surrender all. Are you willing to surrender all? Are you willing to surrender your situation? Are you willing to surrender things that you may be anxious about and worried about? Because you know that he has not called for us to be anxious or to worry, that we are to take everything to him in prayer. And so we lean on him. We lean on him and we give him all those things that we're concerned about. One of the things he also says is we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. And that's 2 Corinthians 4:9. So that says that we are to have hope, that when we feel as if we want to give up or we don't see a way, that we are not to give up. Everything that you see is not what it's going to be. So we have to fully trust in him. And then it says, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. And that is Isaiah 41:10. So I'm just so very grateful to have a God knowing that he is our helper. He is a promise keeper. He's a way maker. And it is in him that we can put our trust. And that we are able to see his goodness in the land of this living. And that he speaks to us in the most precious of ways. In this example, just a simple tow truck. But let it just be a reminder to you that he is there for you, that he is there to be the lifter of your head, and that he loves you so very much. I pray this has been a blessing to you. I hope it encourages you, and just be reminded that we serve an ever-present God. Where can we go outside of God's Spirit? Nowhere, for he's everywhere, all at the same time. I pray that you are blessed. Have a blessed day.